Hey everybody, it's me Marcy. I'm in my kitchen today and I'm going to show you two of my favorite summer products, the ice cream maker and the Quickcicle maker. So let's start with the ice cream. All it is this bowl that is double walled and is lined with something that freezes. So I keep this in my freezer 24/7 so that it's ready for a spontaneous ice cream making. If you don't keep it in your freezer, you do need to freeze it for a good 24 hours before it's cold enough. There's no external chill added to it in the process, so you want to start with as cold of a bowl as you possibly can. And if you have a stand-up freezer, that means you're going to have to crank it to the lowest setting, to the absolute coldest setting. And the coldest spot in your stand-up freezer is on the bottom rack, right at the back behind other frozen stuff. So a stand-up freezer isn't quite as efficient as a chest freezer in that when you open the door, it really lets the temperature out and it has to work pretty hard to catch up, so that it all makes a difference with your Quicksicles and your ice cream. So with a stand-up freezer, make sure it's right on the bottom, right at the back behind other frozen stuff. And if you have a chest freezer, just put it in the deepest part of your coldest chest freezer. I don't know that a fridge freezer will be cold enough, but you can try it and see. A girlfriend of mine does with good success, and I have other people who don't. So anyway, right now I have my ice cream bowl in this little black, it's called a sweater, and it's in our outlet. So it's while supplies last only, and it's a discounted and final sale. So I don't know if it'll be there for long, but if you're considering the ice cream set, I do think you should consider the sweater too. If I didn't have the sweater, I would totally wrap a tea towel around it while it's working so that the room doesn't absorb any of the chill from the bowl. You really want to insulate it. I leave mine just like this in the freezer so that it's always ready to go. So it's got this little lid to keep in case you're storing leftover ice cream in there. I know, leftover, can you imagine? And then it's got this paddle and a post, those go together, and then the motor, okay? So that all hooks right in and just sits on top, it clicks in, and then we're gonna make a mix. Oh, I better plug this in. So the mix that I'm gonna mix it right here in my silicone prep bowl. And my very favorite is good old-fashioned vanilla. There's nothing ordinary about good vanilla. So I'm gonna start with, I like to make half a batch of ice cream just because I like to have it eaten up and not be tempting in the fridge. So I'm gonna start with 1 cup of whipping cream, a half a cup of milk, and then we go with 1/4 cup of sugar, and a teaspoon or so of vanilla. Love the vanilla. So my second favorite kind of ice cream is chocolate, and so to this I would add 1/4 cup of cocoa. You have to boil that on the stove though, so if you're making an ice cream that has to be cooked on the stove, you're going to want to make it in advance so that you can refrigerate it and start with the coldest ingredients that you can. Remember I told you that the bowl has no external chill, and if it warms up, there's no amount of running it that's going to freeze your ice cream. That's part of it. So start with as cold of ingredients as you can possibly, and work fast. Okay, so I've got that good and mixed. Now I'm going to turn the machine on. And I'm going to set it for 20 minutes. So it's not going to take 20 minutes, but I don't want it to stop. The bowl is so cold that if I pour the mix in before the paddle is turning, it'll freeze to the sides and there won't be room for the paddle to turn. So we want to make sure that the paddle's turning before we start pouring this in. And that's it. Now it's going to do its thing. So I anticipate this will take about 12 minutes. If I was making a whole batch, it usually takes 20, 22 minutes. And so I'm just going to set it aside and let it do its thing. All right, now onto the Quicksicles. So this is the coolest thing ever. It too lives in my deep freeze so that it's ready for spontaneous popsicles. And All it is this little block. It's frozen. There's some kind of a liquid in there. It's frozen solid, and it has room to make 3 popsicles. And of course, it comes with 6 of its popsicle sticks. And you can't use your own normal, regular, ordinary popsicle sticks. You do need these. And you know that outlet that I was talking about has extra sticks in it right now? I encourage you to get 6 more sticks out of the outlet if you're getting your Quickcicle maker. So those just sit in like this, and then you have to have a recipe. You can make apple juice, you can make Pepsi, you can make lemonade, you know, you can do pina coladas, all sorts of ready-made things that you can pour, but there's also a lot of recipes you can do. You can make boozy popsicles just by adding no more than a couple tablespoons of alcohol per popsicle because they won't freeze well enough. But today, the recipe I'm gonna make are sugar-free creamsicles, okay? So in my prep bowl here, my silicone prep bowl, and that's why I'm using this is because they're heat safe. So I'm gonna get some boiling water. I just boiled the kettle. So I want a cup of boiling water. The measurements are written on the inside of the cup. And then I'm going to add a sugar-free Jell-O. And I've done this before with regular Jell-O, not the sugar-free. So I'll add that in. And then I'm gonna stir it up with my mini whipper. Do y'all have a mini whipper? This was it was our most popular whisk. And then it was discontinued and it was just brought back. They are the bomb for hot chocolate and for tomato soup, mushroom soup, all that stuff. Love my mini whipper. Okay, so I'm going to, so that's now just 1 cup of boiling water and a sugar-free Jell-O. And now I'm going to add half a cup of cream. All right, I'll stir that up. Now the Quickcicle maker, being in the freezer for 24 hours, is ready to make 9 popsicles before you have to refreeze it. So I'm just gonna carefully pour that in. And this recipe that I happen to make here is our favorite, but it just makes 6. That's just how far the recipe goes. So I've got the 3 popsicles in there, and I'm gonna let it sit. Now this is gonna take just 8 minutes, and if I had room in the freezer, I would just pop it in to you know, stay cold while it's processing, or while it's freezing rather, but it's also good on the counter, okay? So when I unmold these 3, I can put 3 more in, I can unmold those and put the last 3 in, then it needs to be frozen overnight again before you use it. And when I'm done with them, when I bring them out, I'll just put them in wee little Ziploc bags. The little snack size, they fit perfect. And then they just go in my freezer and they're ready for, you know, whoever is going to want a quick snack. So there's a ton of recipes around. Anything with Fireball is really good. Or you can make your pina coladas with the coconut rum. But there's lots of kid-friendly ones too. I have, this is my very favorite. I've made it just with regular old chocolate milk before. That makes a really nice one with fruit punch. A friend of mine used Pedialyte when she needed to, and she actually made them out of breast milk as well when her little guy really just needed to, you know, suck on something cold and get a little bit of nutritional value from it. So you could, there's somebody at my door. 1 second. Oh, I love when that happens. So when he needed some nutritional value and something cold to suck on, it was perfect for him. So there's a lot of reasons why you'd want to be the fun mom and have homemade Quicksicles when the kids are gathering around. So we're just going to let that do its thing. And I can see already that the ice cream maker is starting to thicken. The cream is starting to whip. and of course the cold from the bowl is chilling it as it goes. So it will, I would guess it'll take about 12 minutes, 8 to 12 minutes, something like that. And when it's done, it will be soft serve. Okay, so the ice cream spade is perfect for digging the soft serve out of the bowl. It's not necessary to use an ice cream scoop because it is so soft, and you'll never get anything harder than soft serve. So if you want it firmer than soft serve, something that's scoopable, you're gonna have to put it into the freezer and chill it up a bit. Now, homemade ice cream, when you chill it in the freezer, gets really, really hard. It freezes so solid. So a trick of mine is at the end, when there's about 1 minute left of processing time on here, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of straight vodka. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna blend with the water molecules in the dairy, and it's gonna lower the freezing point of the water so that it doesn't freeze as solid. So if we plan to eat it as is, of course I won't bother. But if we plan to have leftovers and I'm gonna keep it in the freezer, then I will add just the tiniest bit of vodka to lower that freezing temperature, or that freezing point, so that it doesn't freeze as hard as a rock. Okay? Alternatively, you just have to think ahead and get it out of the freezer so it softens a little bit. But the ice cream spade is really effective for getting the ice cream out of the bowl, and you want to get it out right away, because remember how I told you the bowl is just so cold that that you're going to that the ice cream mix freezes to the sides. Well, that happens too once you're done. If you don't get it out of the bowl, it starts to freeze solid to the sides and it's hard to get out. So as soon as it's done, just get it out of there. So another use for the ice cream maker, though, I want to tell you, is for slushy drinks. So you can put a can of Coke, 3 cups max is kind of the limit for what you can make in here. You can make a slushy drink, like a can of Coke or root beer, anything but diet, really. But you can also do, hard ciders, hard root beer, a rattler, any kind of a cooler, like a Bombay, all of those things. And then when those are nice and slushy, then you eat them with a spoon or suck them through a straw. So this is a really great thing to have. It's in deck season. It's a super fun thing to be able to. It's a super fun thing to be able to just whip up a cold slushy drink like that when company pops in. So I find them really nice. My favorite is a hard root beer, and so after I've processed it in here, I'll pour it into one of our wine tumblers, those insulated wine tumblers that we have, and they are really nice. I just eat it with a spoon on the deck. So that's what I think you'll enjoy that. So anyway, so I think that the biggest question I get about the ice cream that I put vodka in is, can the kids have it after? I guess that's going to be up to you. It's a tablespoon in a whole recipe, so it's not anything I've ever worried about, but certainly there are instances where you wouldn't want to do that. So you'll have to decide. I don't believe it's anything different than, good vanilla when you do it that way. So anyway, this is looking lovely. All right, let's see. I think it's time. That's only got another minute or so, but let's look at our Quicksicles. So they're ready, I think. So it comes with the key, the removal tool. So I'm just gonna slide it on here, spin it on, and you turn it till you hear it pop, and they come out just like this. All right, and so I'm going to these little bags. I'm just going to put them in there in the freezer, and they're ready to go. So you can see why you're going to want extra sticks. The machine itself comes with 6 sticks. And while supplies last, in the outlet you can buy 3 more sticks for, I think it's $9.50. So I would definitely get 6 more sticks. All right, and the ice cream is almost done. I think it is done, actually. I'm going to hurry up here. Don't leave things in here for weeks at a time. I promise you won't be able to get it out. And it'll take overnight to defrost it. So just 8 minutes or so is all it's going to take, maybe 9 for the second batch. maybe 10 for the third batch, but it's not gonna take a long time, all right? So that's it. That's all there is to it. Now, when I'm done with the ice cream, I will get another set of those going. So I'm gonna shut this off now. And we'll take the lid off. And check this out, you guys. Look at that. What do you think of homemade ice cream? There are, if you are on Pinterest, there are a zillion flavors. Pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving time, you know, Black Forest at Christmas time. And this is it. Look at that. What do you think? Would your kids like this? It's so convenient to be able to just whip up a batch of ice cream. Anyway, I hope that you enjoy that. And we use it all year round. It's in my freezer all year round. It's not just a summer treat. It's just fun to have in the summer for sure. So anyway, take good care, everyone.